How you doing? I'm Big D. Welcome to the show. Happy New Year. What we're going to be talking about today is XRP and what's possibly going to happen with XRP. A lot of good is coming our way. Now, if you're holding XRP, 2026 might be the most important year of your investing life. In today's breakdown, I'm going to be talking about realistic, not unrealistic promises. We're talking about real structural changes happening behind the scenes that could reshape how money moves globally as it is right now. Most people that are oblivious to what's going on with crypto, this is probably for you, along with others that are watching different types of crypto, and you might be considering jumping on board with XRP. Look at my disclaimer below. I am not a professional. I'm just someone who does a lot of research, and I bring it forward. Most people are missing right now is not price action, but positioning. While retail investors are now watching charts every day, institutions are quietly preparing for a completely different financial system. Some call it maybe Nazara Jazara, maybe a world reset. There's a lot of different ways to look at it. And this shift could directly impact XRP. I think, in my opinion, it is definitely part of the new financial system globally in ways most people are not ready for. One of the most important clips recently came from Matthew Hugan at Bitwise speaking at Solana Breakpoint. He explained something that many retail investors misunderstood. Institutions do not want complexity. They want simple, regulated, familiar products. This is why ETFs matter so much. Excuse me. According to years of Bitwise research, nearly 70% of the institutional investors prefer ETFs over holding crypto directly. This includes family offices, financial adversaries, and large investment firms. This preference has stayed consistently for almost a decade. That alone should tell you something important. That really shocked people was how little time instructions currently spent on crypto. Financial advisors work about 55, 60 hours a week, but only about 5 of those hours are spent on investing research. This is opinion from my research, so go with it. Crypto usually makes up just 1% portfolios in the portfolios, and everybody's, if they're into investing in general. That means on average, advisors spend about three minutes per week thinking about crypto. 3 minutes, that's it. But here are the key points. This is not going to stay the same. As regulations improved and framework like the Clarity Act move forward, likely in early 2026, that 3 minutes could turn into 30 to 40 minutes. And when that happens, portfolio allocations can change very quickly. 1% became 3, 5, or even 10%. When you apply that shift to trillions of dollars in global capital, the number becomes massive. This is how waves of money move, not overnight pumps. ETFs make this transition easily. Institutions trust them instead and understand them and can access them quickly. In just a few clicks, and advisors can allocate capital without needing to worry about wallets, custodies, or securities. That ease of access is critical. And unlike traditional markets, crypto ETFs allow everyday investors to buy the exact same product as the largest institutions in the world. Now, that is rare. That level of access changes everything. This is why 2026 matters. It is not about a single announcement or one price candle. It is about a shift in attention time, and capital is where it's at. And XRP sits right in the middle of this transaction. Another major theme heading into 2026 is convergence of artificial intelligence and crypto. Franklin Templeton's portfolio manager has openly said that crypto will act as the core economic layer of all driven systems. That statement alone should make people pause. AI agents do not sleep. They operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That means they require financial systems that never shut down. Traditional banking cannot support that. Blockchain can. Now, this is where XRP and Ripple become extremely relevant. Ripple has already been moving on a real-time settlement, liquidity, liquidity management, and cross-border efficiency for years. When AI systems begin managing payments, treasury operations, and liquidity decisions automatically, they need speed, reliability, and low cost. XRP Ledgers was designed specifically for this purpose. Ripple is already experimenting with all-driven treasury tools that help financial managers optimize cash flow and reduce costs. This is not theory anymore. It is happening quietly behind the scenes. As markets move towards 24/7 operation, systems that cannot adapt will be left behind. Crypto does not just enable that shift, it powers it. There are also growing signs that Ripple technology is moving closer to the core of Europe's banking system. While there has not yet been an official joint announcement, technical documentation shows Ripple's list as a supported blockchain protocol within the TAS network gateway. This gateway connects European banks to major payment systems like Target 2. SIPA, this is not speculation, that is a document infrastructure. What this means is that banks using TAS do not need to build their own system to access Ripple's network. They can simply plug it in. This positions Ripple extremely close to Europeans' financial rails. Over time, that optionality matters. Banks may not use XRP for every transaction immediately, but have the option that changes future decisions. This is also a growing possibility that Ripple launches banking operations in multiple regions. One of U.S. banks' framework is finalized. Nothing stops Ripple from expanding into Europe, Japan, and other regions where regulatory relationships already exist. Global expansions become a question of timing, not feasibility. The real question is whether banks will use Ripple's technology. The question is how many banks and how fast. Adoption may not happen all at once. It happens quietly, then suddenly. Another signal that cannot be ignored is stress in the transitional financial system. They talk about the financial system a lot. The quantum financial system sounds like it is already here. If you're a believer in the world reset, and not the bad reset, the one that's going to help people slow down crime to almost nothing, we will have to see. Now, predicting markets recently showed odds of major U.S. banking failures jumping sharply in a short period of time. Whether or not that specific event happens The message is clear. Confidence is in the system is fragile, and when confidence weakens, liquidity becomes king. We have seen this multiple times during the past banking crises. Crypto markets experiment extremely volatility. Some assets fell sharply while others benefited from the capital searching for alternatives. XRP's role as a bridge asset makes it uniquely positioned during these periods. Institutions cared less about speculation and more about settlements, efficiencies, when stress increases. At the same time, stablecoins are becoming the most widely used real world crypto products. And this is where the RLUSD becomes extremely important. In just 1 year, RLUSD reached top 5 stablecoin status while operating under strict regulating oversight. The U.S. Office of Comptrollers of the Currency granted conditional approval, setting a new compliance standard. For large institutions, regulation is not optional. They cannot touch assets that exist in legal gray zones. If given a choice between a full regulated stablecoin and one that ongoing uncertainty, and the decision is obvious, in my opinion, this is why the RLUSD option could accelerate very quickly as usage grows across multiple chains. XRP becomes locked as a liquidity when XRP is locked to support wrapped assets and other networks. It is removed from circulation and supply. Now, this is not theory. This is how quickly mechanics work. A demand increases and supply becomes constrained. Price pressures build over time, not instantly, but structurally. Let's talk honestly about the price. XRP is currently sitting near critical low support. This area has held for more than a year now. If XRP can reclaim and close above key resistance levels, it opens the door for recovery. If not, deep pullbacks remain possible. Not one can predict the short term with certainty. Could XRP revisit lower levels? Yes, and it has. Yes, especially if a broader market stock occurs. But here is what most people miss. Lower prices do not stop institutional accumulation. They accelerate it. ETFs and large buyers would be able to absorb significantly more XRP as cheaper prices, increasing long-term supply constraints. Retail investors often give up at market lows. Institutions do the opposite. They increase exposure when risk-reward improves. The difference in behavior is why wealth transfers happen during periods of, say, fear. They do not mean crashes or healthy or desirable. They are painful and emotionally draining. But they are part of the market infrastructure. The key is understanding who benefits from volatility and why. 2026 is not about predicting exact price targets. It's about understanding positioning, adoption, infrastructure growth. XRP does not need hype cycles anymore. It needs utility and liquidity. And those are exactly the areas seeing the most development. According to major institutional research, crypto markets in 2026 will be driven less by speculation and more by infrastructure. Price discovery will rely on regulated instruments, stablecoins, predicting markets, real world assets, tokenization. Now, this is a very different environment from past cycles. We are still early. Less than 30 billion of world assets are currently on chain. That number will grow multiples, not percentages. XRP is positioned to benefit because it's focused on movement, not hype. It moves value, and value movement is the backbone of finance. As we move into 2026, attention will shift. Advisors will spend more time. Allocations will increase. Systems will integrate, and assets that solve real problems will stand out. And if you made it this far, you're thinking long term, and the mindset matters. So I want to say thank you for stopping in and making it this far. I do appreciate everybody that stops in here, and I do appreciate your support. If you do like what you just seen, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Matter of fact, just smash it. I do appreciate it, and I do need it. I'm trying to build this show. And I think what I have to bring forward is something very good. You may already know some of these things that I've just talked about today. But then again, you may be someone who's newer and doesn't have this information. So my research is what I believe in, and that's what I've been building my portfolio on. I also talk about silver. So please try to have a great rest of your day. If this is still a holiday weekend for you, have a great rest of your holiday weekend. God bless. 2026 is going to be our year. Have a great rest of your day.